Awesome, guys. We are recording and welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is, oh my goodness, it is the 18th of August, 2020. And the summer is almost over, but there's still lots of summer left. I want to welcome every single one of you guys here. This is a fantastic turnout. And I also want to welcome everybody who's watching this replay. It's busy, it's summer. We used to have 50 people on these things during COVID on a Friday night with some cocktails when nobody had anywhere else to go but home. So I'm really, really pleased with this. And let us know if you are watching the recording and you have some questions that weren't answered, either on this call or in our sneak peek group, our sugar detox group. There's literally nothing we will not answer. Honestly, we're pretty much an open book. Sometimes there's too much TMI. So whatever that is, please make sure to reach out. First of all, I'm thrilled to be leading this call with such amazing, incredible leaders. Okay, we've got Emma, we've got Lori, we've got Ashley, and Valerie may be joining us. She's on vacation. For anybody who's in our talks group, if we don't hear from Valerie tonight, she does have a little video of her incredible story that she's going to be posting in that group, because you do not want to miss out on that. It's super inspirational. My name is Danielle Melanson. I'm based out of Nova Scotia, Canada. We have one of the top teams, not only I found out in the network, but in Canada, but in the network. And that makes me so, so proud. We are from all over North America, UK, and now in France. We're expanded into France, and we are just so excited. That is such an honor. I was born and raised on Cape Breton Island, and had a big weight loss transformation using Beachbody programs, products, Shakeology, and at-home workouts. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story very, very quick, and then I'm going to intro some of the girls, and you're going to hear from them. A lot of the technical parts of the coaching business, please ask afterwards, but there's also a lot of written information in our group. So we are going to also direct you back to that. But please feel free to ask about anything after we kind of share a little bit of our stories. So I grew up in a super healthy family. I'm so blessed to have a wonderful mother and father who always took care of themselves. They worked in healthcare, and I was a food addict. I learned my entrepreneurial spirit by selling and painting rocks door to door for 25 cents so I could buy crispy crunch bars behind my mother's back. And there, lo and behold, my sugar addiction started. So of course, while I was out on my own, going to university, and then from university, I went to hair school. Things just went out of control. I used food as emotion for everything. I never ate a vegetable. I could barely walk around the block. And I ended up, actually, my biggest point was when I walked into a plus size store, because I had a funeral to go to, and I needed a pair of black pants. And the biggest size pants in the plus size store was 24, and they didn't fit. And the girl looked at me and she's like, I don't have anything bigger. And I walked out. And that and another health scare in my life was when I really figured that I had to totally do something about my health and take control of this. Take control of my food addiction, smoking a pack a day, drinking 2 liters of diet soda a day. That's one of the worst addictions I had to break. And I replaced exercising. And the fact that I could do it from home and feel comfortable doing it from home, not only the fact that I was self-conscious and I'm actually an introverted extrovert, but I had a busy family at the time. I was a hairstylist. I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week on my feet. And in between there, it was karate, theater, whatever it was. We were constantly running with our family. And I knew that if I didn't find something that I could push the coffee table aside in my 900 square foot home, upstairs and downstairs, 900 square foot, I pushed the coffee table aside and started with my VHS Turbo Jams way back in the day, 13 years ago. So we have come so far with our Beachbody On Demand platform of over like 700 workouts streamed at your fingertips and new ones coming out all the time. It's absolutely incredible. And it was life-changing for me. On the very, very first day Canadians could become Beachbody coaches, I signed up. Refresh, 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 refresh. I didn't know what PST meant, Pacific Standard Time, where Ruth Ann is right now. And they weren't launching the business until that time. And I was just kept going like this, emailing the CEO and wondering why I couldn't sign up to be a coach, because it was something I didn't even know it was a business. Even as a hairstylist, I never had a bottle of shampoo or a bottle of hairspray. The thought of selling anything made my skin crawl. But I needed people to feel the way I was feeling. And so when I realized this business was sharing and not selling, and leading by example and inspiring, hence the name of our tribe, Inspire Tribe, I just hit the ground running. And 8 years later, here we are with an electric team of women and men from all over. And I can't even tell you, I don't think there's two people on this team that are alike. And I love that. I love that, because the one important thing I want to share with you guys about this business is that Lori, Ashley, Emma, Caitlin, Liz, Ruth Ann, Nicole, Angie, Pam, every single one of us are going to have a different business, and that's exciting. It's not copy and paste. Emily is going to attract the people who are going to be inspired by Emily and her way. Success leaves clues. We teach you how to do everything in this business, but the wonderful part of it is you get to put your stamp on it and make it unique to your life, to who you are, to your message, to how you want to help people. So with further ado, I want to introduce Ashley Axford. Ashley is one of our brand new coaches. This girl has an amazing story. She has come out of the gates just blazing, and she's had a lot of success in the very couple of first months as a coach. And I'm going to pass it over to you, Ashley, and you can share a little bit about your story.
Thank you. So hi, everybody. I'm Ashley. So I have been coaching for just about a month now. I just started coaching after the Coach Summit that happened. So just, I guess, a little bit about me. I just finished my degree, my nutrition degree from Mount St. Vincent in the spring, and I was supposed to start my internship right away, but because of everything that's going on, it got delayed. So I'm just starting. I'm in my first month now, and I'm doing my placement in Middleton for my dietetic internship. So yeah, I started coaching just after the summit that happened last month, because I honestly just kind of got consumed by it. I was just so in awe watching all of the videos from all the coaches. Every day I pretty much get on social media, watch some of the stories that the coaches were posting, and they all just looked like so much fun. And the community that they had going, all the support, they did their workouts together, they did theme days. It was so much fun, and I wasn't a part of it. And I was like, why? Why am I not doing this? So Danielle had actually reached out to me a little bit before that. I found her on Instagram, and we just kind of connected. And she first mentioned coaching, and right away I thought, like, I was interested in it, but I just didn't even consider putting it on my plate at the time. I've just been so used to being so busy and not being open to really taking on anything else. All throughout my degree, I was working 2 jobs to pay my way through. And I guess one of the hard parts of going to my internship is that I am not allowed to have a job. I have to literally sign a waiver that says I'm not going to work so that I can focus on my internship. And that is just terrifying to me. It's a 1-year internship, it's unpaid. And I was working pretty much full time before my internship started. So once I got notice that I was starting back up again, I had to quit both of my jobs and move. So I'm doing it about an hour and a half away from where I normally live. So I go home on the weekends, and it's basically a full-time job with homework. So not being able to work during that, like, I'm 24, I'm trying to start my life. I want to get my own place. I want to start a family soon, and not having an income to work towards that is really hard, and it's scary. So when I went to the coaching sneak peek during Summit, I heard from a few of the other coaches, and one specifically stood out to me, how she had a really busy schedule like mine. She was a student. She was just getting into her career, and she picked up coaching just out of the blue and ran with it. And she's very successful. So I'm like, why can't I do that? So I can work basically whenever I need to, whenever I want to. Um, I love that I can fit it in during, like, if I'm really busy one day, I can fit it in the pockets of my day whenever I need to. So when I'm at work, if I have a coffee break, I would be scrolling through social media anyway, so why not make it useful? So I use my coffee break, I use my lunch break, and I just follow up with people who maybe want to join my challenge group, people who are already in my boot camp. I can reach out to new people and check in with my team and just get my team support. And if I'm really busy one night and know I have a lot going on, I'll get up early that morning, do my workout instead. Like this morning, I got up and did my workout, got everything done so that I could focus on this tonight. And then I have a webinar right after this. So, and not only that, but literally when you're a coach, the center of your business is you and your own journey. So while I'm helping other people get started, I am pretty much forced to make myself a priority, which I really needed. So I know that I have people who watch my workout stories every day, and I want to do it to kind of inspire them, but also to prove to them that I can do it and that they can do it too. Because if I can do it, why can't you? And before I started doing all of this, the thought of me going onto my Instagram stories and talking was so scary. It was terrifying to me. Like I remember saying, me and Emma pretty much started at the same time, and she was talking on her stories, and I was like, I don't think I can do that. But I just kind of sucked it up and I did it, and I do it all the time now. I'm still not great at it, but I'm working at it. And like it's one thing to post on social media and talk about my journey in writing, but to get on there and actually speak, and even doing something like this is terrifying to me still, but I'm doing it, and I know that I have so much support. So what do I have to lose, really? And hopefully it'll encourage some of you guys to join in too. So yeah, I'm basically forced to make myself a priority to do my workouts and to work on my personal development. So just overall, my confidence has just gone up so much, and I'm so thankful that I joined up to be a coach. I think that pretty much sums me up.
I love it. I love it. I love especially how you touched on, I know those were a lot of my fears and objections. And I know there are a lot of fears and objections that people are like, I really like your products, but do I need to do dance videos? Absolutely not. You do not have to do dance videos. But there is that element of social media, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with it. So I love, Ashley, how you shared that and how you stepped outside of your comfort zone little by little. And like even tonight doing this was like, oh my gosh, she was like, what have we gotten ourselves into? I'm like, you're going to be great. And I think we can all agree she did awesome sharing her story, right? Amazing. Amazing. My mom is a delivery nurse. She still is. She's 71 years old and she's still working delivering babies since she was in her early 20s, guys. And what she always told me about pregnancy, I always relate back to this business. And that is, you do not wake up 9 months pregnant or you would fall flat on your face. Therefore, you do not start at the same point I am. I've been 8 years in. You start with day one, and then you grow, and then you grow, and then you grow like a gestation with your pregnancy. So never compare your day one to someone's day 101. It's just all about starting. I love that. Thanks, Ash. Next, I am so excited to introduce Lori. Miss Lori is, oh my gosh, I've known Lori. Lori inspired me to get started on my journey way back when. We both have such a similar weight loss story. And I remember seeing her being like, oh my gosh, she's done so well. Oh my gosh. And it inspired me so much. And now to have her as one of the rock stars on our team and growing her own team is just comes full circle. And I'm just thrilled for you guys to hear a little bit from Miss Lori. Go ahead, sweetie.
Hi, I'm Lori. I live in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. I'm back to Beachbody coaching. I took a little break a couple years ago. I got introduced to it and had to stop. I'll go back and then I'll come back to there. So kind of similar like what Danielle said, we both struggled with weight. Mine started at a very early age. From about age 3 or 4, I started to put on weight. My parents separated. I was being raised by my father in 1978, 79, which is unheard of back in the time. So I had support from him and my grandmother, but of course he was working full time. My grandmother, that generation was older. When they were 50 and 55, they were an older generation than our 55-year-olds are. So, she didn't sign up to have this toddler in the house. So food became love. If I was bored or needed something, here's a cookie, here's this, here's that. So, that became the way I lived, is that food was love, food was comfort, food replaced everything in my life that, I wanted to be. Fast forward to, I can remember being age 12, probably weighing in at over 200 pounds. I have this horrible memory of going to Zellers. That dates me right there. I can still remember I tried on these pink fuchsia pants, god awful pants, but they wouldn't fit. And I can remember the sales girl calling me husky. And to this day, I hate the term husky. And I just thought, what a thing to say to a young child, kind of at that vulnerable stage. So all throughout my teen years, I struggled with my weight too. Grade 11, I joined Nutrisystem. And if any of you know the old Nutrisystem, they sent you these pre-packed meals that were god awful in these cellophane pouches that you'd microwave. So it didn't teach me anything about nutrition. So needless to say, the weight all came back on. So it wasn't until my mid-20s, late 20s, when I started to kind of delve into finding what works, what doesn't work. I really didn't know anything about how to lose weight. I can remember going to my doctor and basically telling her I was eating lettuce with vinegar, and she was proud of me. So nutrition wasn't anything that was ever in my house. I knew nothing about it. It's been a lifelong journey to discover. When I started to lose my own weight, I did it on my own, and I kept a food journal, things like, that we kind of teach now. And I just discovered that real food started to make me feel better. Fast forward a little bit longer, I lost my weight and I started to work out for the very first time in my life. I was 32, 33. I had just had my second child and knew nothing about working out other than the few failed attempts that I ever did in my life. I joined a gym and I hired a personal trainer. I got hooked because finally someone taught me the science behind working out and not just the dreaded reps and everything. A few months later, I had a job at the YMCA. I became a certified personal trainer. I was teaching boot camps, everything. And then my life fell apart. I moved up to the Northwest Territories in a remote community that had barely any Wi-Fi access, no fresh meat. My grocery store was about as big as a Needs convenience store. We ran the grocery store there. And sadly, I put on weight very quickly because I had no access to working out. I had no access to what I thought could be good food, and I just got depressed. I was approached by Beachbody a few times prior to that, and I was a gym snob, I'll admit it. I thought, what the heck could Beachbody provide for me that the gym couldn't? This is a crock of you know what. these at-home workouts, are you kidding me? Like, I ran full marathons, half marathons, I trained, there was nothing that could provide for me that I wasn't getting until I couldn't. So I was miserable. It was an August afternoon. Actually, the anniversary just passed a couple of days ago when I started coaching myself. And I said, I've got to do something. I was approached and I had no idea what it actually meant to join Beachbody other than what I had seen. I had followed Danielle for years, but she scared the hell out of me, honestly. Even though she was successful, she scared it because it still seemed too good to be true. And, I'm one of those skeptics. I was always waiting for what's the catch? What's the catch? There's no catch. So I did it, and I started to grow my own little team up from the Northwest Territories. I had we got fresh food on a truck if it wasn't rotten every week. I lived on frozen meat. That's all you could have. So I had about this much variety in my diet, and I could still eat healthy and do the workouts and lose the weight and motivate people from a Inuit community up in the middle of nowhere, 200 kilometers from the Arctic Circle. So if I could do it up there, there's nothing to stop me from doing it here or anybody else. I mean, I was the least, I never saw people. We didn't have any other store other than my own store. It was a fly in, fly out community. Made the decision. We made another move to Northern Ontario, and then my marriage fell apart. And I moved back home to Nova Scotia. During all this, my son was dealing with mental health issues. He's, at the time, was only 8 years old. If any of you are from Nova Scotia, even in Canada, you may have seen our story in the news last year. I stood ground in the IWK Children's Services, and I refused to leave the emergency room one day because my child needed help. I was all over the newspapers. I was all over the CTV National News doing things. My life spiraled very quickly. And with that spiral came weight gain once again. And I found myself in a very lonely place. Amazing when you are in the mental health fiasco of your own family, how quickly you lose friends. Sadly, my whole support system left me, and I felt very alone. And I picked up, it took a year to kind of get my feet back on the ground. But I sat here back in May, and, I had bawled and cried for weeks, just not sure what to do with myself. I had weights in my living room. I almost sold them because I had convinced myself that this path isn't for me. I'm just going to be fat for the rest of my life, unhealthy. But I knew deep down that wasn't who I was. That wasn't who I had worked so hard to be, that, I hadn't worked for years trying to help other people just to become that person. So I reached back out to Danielle, I think it was last Wednesday in May, and I joined the team again. And I'll tell you, I went from instantly being depressed to within 3 or 4 days, I can honestly say my depression had gone. Not because I was working out again, yes, and eating better again, but honestly, it's a sense of community that you get. Finally, between my own groups, Danielle, our team, I had that sense of belonging that I had missed for 2 years while I struggled with my son and his mental health issues. So I'm telling you that no matter what your story is, and no matter how topsy-turvy, if you've gained weight, you're not at goal weight. I'm not at goal weight, and I'm a coach. You know, I'm living proof that you can do it no matter where you are, no matter what your story is, and you've got nothing to lose. You know, the only investment that you do was your sign-up kit to you know, get your Beachbody on demand. You know, and the rest is bonus. So if, you know, no matter what your story is, you're going to motivate somebody. Oh.
Sorry, I do this all the time. I'm that person on Zoom who talks without muting themselves. Thank you, Lori. Oh my gosh. Doesn't matter how many times I hear your story. I lived through it with you over and over again. It's so inspiring. And it's such a testimony to a comeback story. We all have a comeback story. We all have multiple comeback stories, and we'll have more of them. And a word I hear a lot over the 8 years that I've been mentoring people in this business, because let me remind you, I knew nothing about anything. Let me tell you that this girl, my husband forced me to get a smartphone because our child was texting and had no way to get a hold of me. Okay. I had a peanut phone. We were broke as a joke. My father paid for my challenge pack to get signed up. We had one of those old tube computers, and between the three of us, we were sharing it, screen time. So if somebody was like wanting a link or something, I had to like fight two boys to get to, you know, to the computer. And everything that you learn in this business, you are taught and you learn a little bit. So a lot of people have a lot of fear. You know, I think we can all, like from hearing Ashley and Lori's story, you know, realize that we kind of see ourselves in a little bit of each story that you're going to hear tonight, right? So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Miss Emma. Miss Emma fell onto my lap, and I'm so glad. This girl's got a personality very similar to mine. So all of her friends and family, I send my deepest condolences to, because we're her and I are like, woo, woo. She's in the military. She's studying to be a nurse. This girl has like just so much fire and so excited. You know, she has an amazing weight loss transformation. And, you know, I'm going to leave the rest of your story, Emma, for you to share. Just thanks for being here.
Alrighty. So, yeah, I'm from like Southern Ontario, but I live in Ottawa right now. I moved here 4 years ago now for school and the military, and I'm finishing school, but I'm still here because I'm not allowed to leave. Welcome to the military, but it's fine. Anyway, so I'm finishing nursing and I'm going back to school to be a physician assistant. But I started my health and fitness journey like 6 years ago, like when I was in high school. And I had lost up to 125 pounds. Quarantine, yeah, may have gained like a few back, but it's fine. But yeah, I didn't lose all my weight doing Beachbody, but I really wish that I had, because along my journey, I was literally on my own. I didn't have any support. I had zero guidance, no knowledge about, you know, working out and especially nutrition. And I had a lot of mental health problems back then. So I ended up with like a couple eating disorders, body dysmorphia. It was just really bad. And I thought that losing weight was like going to solve all my problems, but surprise, surprise, that's not how it works. But then I found just recently, so I've been coaching for 5 weeks now. I found this community, and it's just been a huge game changer for me. So literally every day I hop into our Zoom room because that keeps me accountable. I don't really want them to watch me do like garbage reps, so I actually try. And it's just a place for me to go when a lot of like some days I'm not feeling my best. I still struggle with mental health. So some days I wake up and I could just lay in my bed all day and do nothing. But I go into the Zoom room where I can see all my team in there, working out, doing their personal development, whatever it is. And I know that I have their support there. So the ladies, they're just like so inspiring to me. But that's why I started coaching. So I was watching Danielle's story. So I met her through my sister, who works for another company, and Danielle came to do a Zoom call like this for my old team that I used to work for. And I was just listening to her story. And then after I went and followed her on Instagram, I was watching and like seeing her do these calls with their team and like all these people that she's friends with and how positive and like motivating they were. And I was sitting here like, what the hell am I just sitting here watching for? Like, the company I was working for, amazing company, but it just wasn't my passion. So then I messaged Danielle and I just jumped right in because I wanted to, share that community with other people that are on their journey so that they have the support and the knowledge that they need and they don't end up like me with eating disorders and like body dysmorphia and whatnot, because it's actually a lot more common than you may think. But yeah, it just had such an impact on my life in such a short like period of time that I just felt the need to share it with other people, because I know people may not admit it to themselves, but they struggle more than they think. And you just like knowing that you have the support, even if you don't like reach out to those people, just knowing that they're there, it can really just make a difference for you. Also, this community has connected me with people who understand my story. They get it. They've been there. They've experienced some of the things that I have experienced. And it's just really nice to have those people because my family doesn't understand mental health at all. They're great people, but they just don't get it. And for someone who suffers, that can be like super isolating. So just having those, a few people that I really connected with, they're not even like my direct team. They're just part of this huge like tribe. It's great having them. Also more like just when I joined doing the workouts and the nutrition, I have like a terrible relationship with food. So when I lost all my weight, I had developed like bulimia and stuff. And so food became like the enemy to me. I wasn't eating to like fuel my body. I literally hated eating, and doing the nutrition program that I signed up with has really started to help me just build that healthy relationship with food and see it more as like a fuel, and I'm eating it because I have respect for my body and stuff like that. Rather than, I'm not going to eat this because I'm going to be gaining weight, or like, oh, I can't eat that much food when really 1,200 calories is not enough to be eating in one day. And then the workouts as well. So I haven't had a huge weight loss transformation from Beachbody, but the workouts, they have just helped me so much with my body dysmorphia. Like seeing the small changes and just looking in the mirror every day and not immediately seeing something negative is like huge for me, because usually I would wake up and I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, oh, wow, look at all my stretch marks. Oh, look at my loose skin, or like my legs are huge, or like something. But now like I genuinely look in the mirror, and I made an Instagram story and people were laughing because I call my little friend down there Christmas dinner. And I literally looked in the mirror one day, and the first thing I noticed was, oh my God, Christmas dinner is leaving. Like, he's gone. I don't know where he went. I mean, he's still there, but he's getting smaller. And that was just huge for me to be able to look in the mirror and not immediately say something negative about myself. So that's just, it's helping me to realize that I'm working out not because I hate myself, but because I actually love myself and I have respect for myself. So that's why I'm doing it. Yes, Christmas dinner. Don't judge. It's a long story, but yeah. But honestly, I could literally go on for hours about how this community and just deciding to coach has helped me. I've come out of my shell. I talk about things. I share things that I never would have in the past. I wouldn't have told anybody that I had 2 eating disorders and body dysmorphia because I was scared of what they were going to think about me. Obviously, I was bullied in the past, so doing anything that puts, you know, attention on myself was not something I wanted to do. But I've just gone full circle, and I've just come right out of my shell, and I literally don't care anymore what people have to think, because I feel amazing and I want to share it with people. But yeah, I just want to finish with, like, you're more than your past. You're stronger than the struggles that you have. And if you need the community, like, of supportive, inspiring women, and you have a passion to help others for whatever your why is, then this is where you want to be.
Mic drop. Boom. Love it, Emma. Thank you so much. Being vulnerable is hard, but it's actually healing as well. And that's why when we learn to be a little bit more vulnerable every day. Who was I talking to today? Oh, I was talking to a brand new coach who signed up today. And she said, I can't believe how sharing my journey, she's been doing it for 9 weeks. She's lost 15 pounds. And she's like, I can't believe the positive responses I'm getting when I'll put something on social media. It's so encouraging to myself, and the fact that I think that I could be a leader and a teacher and teach people how to believe in themselves. And I'm like, absolutely. It's vulnerable, but by putting yourself out there little bit by little bit, that's how you grow. And that's how people connect with the real you. I see Valerie popped on here. I'm so excited. Are you still there? There she is, Valerie Acorn. Valerie's been a coach on our team. Valerie must be just over a year now.
Yeah.
Just over a year. Valerie's one of our newest diamond coaches, and she has an amazing health transformation and personal development transformation that I would love for you to share with us, Valerie.
I'm so excited to be here. Actually, I'm home in Cape Breton visiting my family, and I was at chat time, and I was like, I need to get back home to chat with you guys. So I'm sorry I missed the previous speakers. I know there would have been incredible to hear everyone's story. So I'm going to keep it super short, just to give you a little bit of background. I grew up very, very active, played hockey all my life, volleyball, running, gym. Fitness has been a part of my life, and Danielle introduced me to Beachbody DVDs years and years ago, where it was just an easy transition into my fitness and continuing to do things like that at home. So I've done that for a while. And unfortunately, I don't know if it was because I grew up being active, but I had very much like an imbalance in my muscles. So I would do physio and massage therapy ongoing. I would have repeated weekly visits, and she's like, my goodness, like, I finished working on your back and the next day you're back to being tight again. I didn't have balance, and I worked so hard through physio. Nothing was really working. So anyway, continue on my journey, just plugging away, thinking you're doing the right things. And so I didn't really have a lot of weight to lose, but my body was in a lot of pain. So Danielle introduced me to the 2B mindset a year ago. And that has been the absolute biggest change in my life, like beyond you won't even understand. So for 7 years, I had to take muscle relaxers for the amount of pain in my body, because I couldn't lay in bed longer than 6 a.m. Like toss and turn, not good sleeps, because my body was just singing tight and in pain. So I said to my doctor, please don't ever take me off these, because I need them to be pain-free. Not pain-free, just minimize my pain. So that, along with like migraine prevention medication, which just, do you know, like nutrition can give you a brain fog? Like if you don't have proper nutrition, if you have too much sugar, like I honestly, like, this nutrition program with the 2B mindset has been absolutely changing. So I'm going to get to the point. I started this year ago, and my joints, doing the exercises, my brain, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm coming to a red light and I don't have to think, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I'm serious. My brain was so inflamed with carbs and sugar. And I was not like, I didn't eat a high fat diet. Like, I ate very like chickens, and I did a lot of rice. I loved carbs, rice and pasta. Oh my goodness. But I'm like, hey, it's a little fat. Like, what's wrong with that? I'm active. I should be burning it off, but I was gaining weight, and I was eating well, and I was exercising. And anyway, I lost, well, it was like 12 pounds in just a short amount of time with the To Be mindset. But what changed drastically for me was the amount of pain in my body. So after a year, last week, I went to my doctor and I said, I think I can come off of this medication. Like, unreal. And this is something I begged him forever to not ever take me off. So anyway, the nutrition program has changed my life. No joke. So this is my why. This is why I am so passionate about sharing my journey, because I am not a business-minded person. I am not organized with my delivery. Like, even right now, I'm hopping on, I'm just talking off the top of my head. But anyway, when I first started, I wasn't as fit as I wanted to be. I terribly feared judgment. Like, just thinking about even still putting things on Facebook, it is like debilitating for me to do that. But I do it because of the people that I've reached out in my group, and the people who have had a transformation with their health, diabetes, cancer, fibromyalgia, like unreal results. And that is my why. Like, it would be selfish for me to not share this journey. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Danielle set us up with power hours where basically we're coached on exactly what to do. And that guidance is what got me through, because I really had no idea what I was doing. And I didn't know how to coach. I didn't think that I was inspiring. And I'm like, you know, I don't have a fitness background, even though I am athletic. And I've trained at the gym. So I'm thinking, like, why would they want to listen to me? So I had tons of self-doubt, but what drove me is just sharing my journey and the results that I've gotten, like, unreal. To come off 2 medications, it speaks for itself. So anyway, I just took baby steps with this journey. And after a year, like, the team just guides you. It's been the best decision. And for myself, the personal development side of it, I was not a negative person. I was a happy person. Like, I didn't think that I needed any, soul searching or any type of personal development. I work for the school board here. We get tons of professional and personal development. And I was like, there's nothing really I'm going to watch that's going to help me, because, like, I'm happy, I'm fine. But when these personal developments get to your core, they speak to you in ways that you don't even realize that thought was in your head. Like, it comes to you and you're like, okay, Mel Robbins, you have lit a fire in my butt. And, like, no one's coming to help you. You are going to do it yourself. Like, guys, personal development has changed everything for me. And we know no one's going to parent us. We're adults now. No one's coming to parent us and tell us what we need to do. To work out, eat your veggies, drink your water, whatever. But having that little Mel Robbins 4-second, actually she's 4-minute clip, and she's like, no one's coming. I'm like, I need to take responsibility for my health. And I'm having results, so why not share it with others? And that's basically what it comes down to, is just basically getting results myself and being vulnerable and stepping out of my comfort zone and sharing with others and making money along the way, which is not that bad. Anyway, guys, yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
in the right spot.
Oh my God, I'm so glad everybody got to hear from you as well. Oh my gosh, so inspiring. And that's why it's so important for us to hear all of the stories, because like Val had such an amazing story with her health and her pain management, and you know how her confidence builds so much. And this is just an example. This is why I wanted you guys to hear from, you know, a plethora of some of our new coaches that comes in. I mean, I could line you up with people who are making thousands of dollars a year, a week, and that's super inspiring as well. But you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start here. I always say to people when they even start their weight loss journey, if losing weight is what gets you started, perfect. But in order to keep you in the game, it's got to come from like wanting to be healthy. You know, in your head and your heart and your spirit. And that's what it's all about here. But this is a business, okay? And we post, I really want you guys to take a look in that Sugar Detox group where we posted those six posts, but I'm here to answer any questions about coaching. I'll do a really quick overview about how to get started, but coaching, how we earn money, all those things are in those posts. But if you have any additional questions about that, please, I'm just gonna, there we go. Okay, it's you, Val. I'm gonna pause, mute, yeah, please reach out and let us know. So first of all, guys, it's a no-brainer how to get started. This month, we, like literally 8 years, I have not seen this sale. Normally our 2B Mindset program that Valerie was talking about, and our other nutrition program called the Ultimate Portion Fix, those retail Canadian at $145 each, American, UK, $121 each. Those are both included in our pack this month for the very first time for no extra charge. So our pack is literally 75% off. So for $186, which is our base price always, you're getting over $600 worth of value for this month only. It's the reason the company's doing it is that they know the importance of the nutrition, and they are willing to give it away for free so that you guys can really see the value by adding nutrition with your workouts, and your team support. Our equation is nutrition plus exercise plus support equals success. That is our equation. And you're going to get absolutely everything you need in your pack, from your nutritionals to your coaches, entry to the challenge group, to your 1 year of Beachbody On Demand, to those 2 nutrition programs. And you're even going to get access to our brand new MBF program and the BOD ropes. The MBF program and the BOD ropes are valued at $85 alone. So when you choose any pack, but I would strongly suggest this one, you get to sign up as a coach completely free. Whether you sign up as a customer, whether you sign up as a coach, it's completely the same price. If you're an existing Beachbody On Demand member, you get to sign up for that whole entire pack, including coaching, for $150 Canadian, $130 US, UK. If you do not have a Beachbody On Demand already, you can get that, a whole year of that coupled in, for $186 Canadian, $160 US, UK. It's beyond. The greatest thing about this business is that there's 0 sales requirements. And the worst thing about this business is that there's zero sales requirements, and it's so cheap to join, because people don't realize the value that it actually has. If you went to go Dunkin' Donuts, Tim Hortons, and buy a franchise, you're looking at $150,000, $200,000 to buy a franchise. And every single month, no matter what you made in your store, you would owe that company thousands, $2,000, $3,000 in franchisees fees every single month. So it forces you to treat your business like a business. But you don't have any of that in this business, but you still have the potential for the same financial gains. So as wonderful as it is and so accessible to get started with it, whether you want to start as a discount coach, whether you want to work your way into a hobby coach, paying for some product, or maybe, you know, paying for a grocery bill, a car payment, save away, or if you're looking to, you know, build up to be a business builder for eventually make a full-time income, that's completely up to you. But we all start at stage one. Stage one, day one, and that's a really exciting place to start. Is there any questions? For those worried about money, I put it on my credit card and paid it monthly and made the money I spent back in 18 days. You did. You did, Emma. You did, and so did Ashley. Absolutely. That's the thing. Like, as new coaches, this is Emma's story. In 18 days, she paid back her own challenge pack by sharing her story. Ashley talked about how, as a student, she was able to get her nails done completely guilt-free because she was able to share this opportunity and start her own challenge group right out of the gate. And so it's not always like driving up in a Ferrari. I mean, if that's what you want, cool. You do you, boo. Let's work towards it. But that's not what it's all about. I'll never forget Rachel, one of our coaches, she's one of our diamond coaches, just kind of took a shot of the back of her SUV and was like, my paycheck paid for all these groceries. Like, that's huge, guys. As a person who used to have $20 a week to entertain a child and try to figure out if I had enough gas to get everybody to their karate, like, you know, these are big things that are a real reality for people. So starting off small and is always the way to go. But we are here to answer anything if anybody has any questions.
I don't have a question, but I'll jump in there. I forgot to mention, I was one of the victims of COVID. I lost my job. And at the point where I lost my job too, I was struggling with not even knowing if I wanted to work because of my son, and not sure because I had missed probably 6 months of work last year. So it has actually, you know, I'm only getting out of the gate, like Danielle said, but in the last couple of months, you know, I've made enough money to pay the bills, to get my nails done, to not have that same stress that I was feeling even with the COVID checks coming in. You know, they're going to end. I'm not going back to work. I've lost my job and I don't plan on doing it. You know, that's not everybody's goal, is to make this their entire business. But I know based on my family situation, that this has given me the opportunity that I can be at home for my children if crisis happens and things that I'm, you know, anticipating. And I can still be accountable to myself and be healthy and, you know, and achieve all of that. You know, I have big goals, but I got to start off here, and that's where I'm at right now.
Love it. Love it.
I want to say too, is you might not have any questions right now, and that's okay, because you have a tribe of friends and they become your family, really, because you're in contact with them so much. But you'll have any questions, you just throw them at them and they're right there to answer them. So if you have questions as you go, then we're all here. Even just individually message any of us and we'll answer that. If you think of something after the call, ask away, because that we're all about answering any questions you have, anything at all. Yeah,
I totally agree. Well said, Valerie. So, okay, I'm seeing down here, is there something? No, just an LOL. Okay. So if you guys do have any questions, please reach out either to whoever invited you to this webinar, or you know, drop them in the group. We are using our sugar-free tea detox group. We're doing 3 free groups within there, so go on in there. But reach out. Do not be afraid. Do not sit on your hands. Do not let your questions get stuck in your mouth. or your opportunity gets stuck in your mouth. I spent all today going through lots of information about being a coach.
Are you there, Danielle?
Yeah, I am. Just one second. I am a coach, but haven't launched yet, so my brain is so full of info. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, that's Emily, right? Emily, because it just says Galaxy Ace. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, I'm here. Was that you, Michelle?
It is me. I never speak, but I'm going to speak.
I love it.
I just want to say that I don't even know how to start out. I feel like you're my soul sister out there.
Aww.
I don't know what to say. If I hadn't had you guys in the last year, I don't think I'd have made it. And this group and these exercises have just been everything to me. All your help last week with trying to get the girls to sign up, and I still don't understand what I did wrong, but I sent all that information that you sent me on to the other girls that were interested in signing up. And instead of signing up with me as a coach, the girls split a package, signed up on Beachbody through somebody, and have been just assigned a coach from somewhere. And
that's right,
I just don't know how you go about trying to get people on your team.
You will, honestly. Once you get into like deep dive into our training, Michelle, I'm going to make sure that you're in our new coach Inspire Tribe training. We have a whole university. And then starting in September, we're starting up weekly mentorship calls for coaches on Sunday evenings as well. So I'll make sure that you have access to all of that. And I'm telling you, once you start with it routine in your habits, Michelle, you'll find that success. Those girls will realize how important it is to have a coach.
Yeah, I just want to say,
I just think that
it can be kind of discouraging because in my first week, like, obviously wasn't going to see success overnight, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? Like, I'm doing the things, but you just have to keep doing the things. And we do this thing called Go for No. And trust me, I have filled that page out like almost 2 times now, but you just got to keep going and you will see success. So don't get discouraged. Just keep driving.
Shay says, thank you, ladies, for taking the time to help us beginner
and I
coach.
think you're.
Go ahead. Okay, awesome.
I just want to say I thought Emma's story was awesome. And that's the thing, you start out, but I don't really know where to start out.
We will guide you, Michelle. We will guide you. It's just doing the things. We even have a checklist for you. We have a checklist for you so that you don't feel lost. You don't feel overwhelmed. You're a part of a tribe. We have weekly team calls. We have weekly mentorships, and they're all recorded. So if you can't get on them, you can watch the replay in your own time because life is busy and people have different schedules, especially when we're getting back to normal now. Yeah, just keep your head up and keep pushing. But Michelle, I'm going to connect you with all that information so that you can take a deep dive into it and really learn all those steps and then start putting them into action. So don't be discouraged. You got this. Okay, ladies, anything else? Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching the recording. And I hope to see you guys in our new coach internship starting in September. So reach out to your coach, reach out to the person who shared this with you, and let's get rocking and rolling, and especially with that new MBF pack, which is epic. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. You guys are awesome.